What's up, everyone? So let me get this stuff off. I'm gonna turn myself around so I get a little better light. So it's my birthday, and I guess what I wanted to speak to is if I were to give any sort of advice after so many years. There's the acronym FAIL, which is first attempt in learning. And life is full of failures, and I think that's what builds us up and makes us stronger. But if I were to put my own spin on fail, I think the F would be to forgive. Once we go through some things, because a lot of times we'll go through things that we weren't aware of, and then sometimes you do know inherently better than what you did, but it's important to forgive yourself. I think you have to know that we're not perfect, and we're not built to be perfect. So when you have that sort of understanding about yourself, how you are wired, and that we are wired for curiosity. We're wired to experiment in ways that sometimes are to our detriment, not always to our benefit, or unfortunately those around us. So we can be our harshest critic, and that's okay. I think that's part of how we're wired as well. But I think the more important thing is to be our most constructive critic, because a lot of times, rather than being constructive, we are extremely destructive. And you're so stupid, and you'll never be this, you'll never be that. And it's like, no, you got to let yourself breathe. You got to let yourself go through it and be able to say, man, that wasn't the best you. Now, how do we do just a little bit better? You don't have to leap from the worst to the absolute best, but how do we just get a little bit better? And how do we make that a pattern? How do we make that not just a pattern, a thought, an action, a pattern, but a habit, then allowing it to become our character and part of our lifestyle and just our being? So you got to forgive yourself. If I was going to put an A to it, I think acceptance. Acceptance is kind of, I think that's part of how you forgive yourself, is to accept. And it's allowing that these kind of things will live inside of you peacefully, that you can accept these things. And I've talked before about dealing with external forces, what you will accept and what you'll tolerate. And acceptance was, okay, my boyfriend or girlfriend or, whoever, they're kind of quirky, they got their ways, but, I'm okay with that. I'm accepting of that. It's a positive thing. It's an embracing, it's bringing it into you. Whereas tolerating, I feel, is more like forced upon you and something you don't quite enjoy. So accept it. Accept these things about yourself. It doesn't mean you can't make changes, but you definitely need to accept them so you can come to a point where you are comfortable with it, and then you are able to start to make change. Once you make that change, that's an internal factor. So you want to internalize these things and be able to plant your seeds, plant the seeds of change, plant the things that you want to reap and sow later on down the road. Have the ability to harvest that notion, whatever it is that you want to change. Now, you can get inspiration from other people as to what seeds to plant. People who are pursuing on how to do better financially, pursuing higher education, weight loss, self-improvement, whatever it is, you can draw inspiration from other people. So these would be the farmers at the next field over. Hey, what are you planting over there? That looks great. They can give you a few seeds, but you have to get into the field, plow it. You got to do the seeds. You got to water. You got to give it the sunshine. That is the work. You have to do the work. You can get the seeds from anywhere, but if you don't plant them, seeds are like knowledge. And if you don't take the information or education that somebody's passing on to you, it's not going to go anywhere. So it's kind of like the old adage, nothing changes until you change your mind. So it kind of goes along with that. The last part is to love. Love this life. It's not always tough, it's not always easy. It can be extremely tough, and sometimes it's not always tough. Sometimes it's easy, but love it for what it is. Love it for what you go through. Love it for the lessons that you learn, because I'm a huge advocate that there is a lesson in everything. Me just sitting here knowing that, okay, the thing that I can learn is that at this hour it's somewhat peaceful, but there is a bit of traffic going on, or that this seat that I'm sitting in is a little bit cold. So my lesson is next time I can bring out, like cardboard or something to sit on because I'm at work here. So you can learn something from everything. I'm learning that this lighting, even though it's above me, is not great until you see my face like this, but I can't talk to you that way. So that's why I turn the hat, try to get as much light as possible. Lessons in everything, little lessons. They don't have to be master degree level or anything else like that. Just keep learning little things so your brain keeps firing and understanding and growing, and you just have a greater kind of awareness. Build in your superpower. I'm getting off track. Well, no, I'm not getting off track. I'm just going. So love, and last but not least, love yourself. That goes along with being able to forgive, accept, internalize, all of those things. Love yourself. Now, I say that with the caveat. Be careful that a lot of that self-love does not turn selfish. Once you get an abundance of that love, start to share it with the people around you. Because a lot of the people around you are part of that sunshine and water and all those extra things that while you've planted these seeds of change, they've helped along the way. We don't always do this ourselves. Most of us don't. Very few people do. But again, this is all an internal thing, but people can see. People can see the change. People can see where you're going. People can see how you are improving. So, guys, that would be the advice that I would have. It's okay to fail. Forgive, accept, internalize, and love. I'm sure on any one of these levels, so many of you have an ace up your sleeve, the advice, the comment, the experience to share what it is that you've gone through and how you coped with it, how you may still be coping with it, the failures, first attempt in learning of trying to get over it and still not succeeding, because these things don't take the first time, but you got to keep learning from it, and then you have that better shot. You always have a better shot if you've learned from something. So just trying hard doesn't always mean you'll get the desired results, but you can learn from how you tried and then go back and say, okay, now I need to do this, X, Y, and Z to have a different result, see if that changes something. But you got to keep changing it up if you're not getting the desired result. If you are, keep doing it and keep challenging yourself. So again, advice, comment, experience. I hope this finds everybody in a place or a strong pursuit or the mindset to start changing towards total health of mind, body, and soul. I will see you guys very soon on the next one. And be well. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.